Hey guys, welcome back to another character portfolio. We have still got many major characters to go through, but if you're wondering, I will go through every minor character of this series too. It's not restricted to just major characters, but it is restricted to dead characters. So today we'll be looking at Hershel Greene, father, farmer, and temporary doctor. He was of course played by Scott Wilson. He is male, he is early to mid 70s. He of course is the father to both Maggie and Beth, and the stepfather to Sean, and he is the husband to both Annette and Josephine. Of course, Josephine died quite a while ago, but Annette was the walker in the barn. Before the outbreak, he inherited his father's farm and his pocket watch. He had an alcoholic and abusive father. In later years, Hershel became heavily Christian and became a veterinarian. He met and married Josephine Greene and had Maggie together. But Hershel became an alcoholic. Hershel gave it up eventually, but Josephine soon died. But Hershel met another woman named Annette, who had a son named Sean, who he sort of adopted. Soon him and Annette had Beth together. As the outbreak happened, both Sean and Annette were bitten by walkers, and Hershel placed them both in his barn. We first see Hershel in Season 2, in Bloodletting, where he attempts to save Carl from being shot. Hershel needs supplies, so Otis and Shane go out. When Shane comes back without Otis, Hershel saves Carl and lives, removing the bullet fragments from him. They of course have a funeral for Otis and move on. Hershel sets strict rules for his property: no guns, no killing zombies. Hershel gets annoyed when the group takes a horse and borrows things without his permission. Dale and Glenn learn about the barn with the people in it, and try to convince Hershel they're not human, but he doesn't buy it. In Pretty Much Dead Already, Rick, Jimmy and Hershel grab some walkers and bring them to the barn. But Shane flips out, shooting them, opening the barn. After the barn scene, Hershel goes to the local bar to drink away his troubles. Rick and Glenn find him, but also stumble upon Dave and Tony. Rick kills the two men, and the trio are involved in a shootout with Dave and Tony's men. Hershel shoots Sean, causing his death, and they decide to help Randall, who fell off a roof and whose leg was impaled. Hershel treats him, but isn't bothered about his execution, even though Dale tries to convince him. Hershel gives Glenn his watch, accepting him as his new son-in-law, and they soon let the group move into the house. But when the herd comes, Hershel goes infinite ammo shotgun time. Rick saves Hershel from a zombie that's coming by him, and Hershel, Rick and Carl leave for the highway, where they eventually meet up with the others. In Season 3, Hershel has been with the others on the road for a while. He of course helps clear the prison out, but is soon bit on the leg, and Rick is forced to chop it off. Carol and Laurie try to save him when he, of course, appears to be dying, Laurie risking her life, giving him CPR. Hershel is soon on his feet, foot again, when the zombies invade, due to Andrew. Hershel takes shelter with Beth. He helps baby Judith, and obviously says that she needs supplies when Laurie is dead, and of course the baby needs supplies. Hershel tries to bring back Rick when he goes all loopy over Laurie's death. He helps Alan and Tyrese's group arrive. Hershel tells Rick to give the new people a chance, but Rick screams at them to get out. Hershel has a close call when the governor first attacks, but is saved by Glenn. He of course shoots some zombies there himself. Hershel goes with Rick to meet the governor, where he bonds with Milton a little bit, where they joke about showing him his leg and all that. Hershel tries to convince Rick to not hand Michonne to the governor, and takes refuge in the woods when the governor invades again, and watches Carl kill Jody in cold blood, and tells Rick about it later. Hershel soon welcomes the Woodbury survivors to the prison with open arms. In Season 4, Hershel has become a member of the prison council. He influences Rick to put away his gun and stop fighting, which Rick does. Soon a flu breaks out, and Hershel decides to help, giving an awesome speech.
Hey, listen, damn it. You step outside, you risk your life. You take a drink of water, you risk your life. And nowadays you breathe, and you risk your life. Every moment now. You don't have a choice. The only thing you can choose is what you're risking it for.
Hershel gets herbs for the infected people and some tea and all that, taking care of Glenn, Sasha, and Dr. S. Soon the people begin to turn, and Hershel steps up, killing some of them, including poor old Dr. S. He wrestles with a zombie Henry to save Lizzie and Glenn, and obviously is forced to put down many of his patients with a shotgun, to which he cries about later while reading his Bible. Very sad scene. Hershel, when burning the bodies, is captured along with Michonne by the governor. Hershel tries to convince the governor to stop, but he doesn't. He puts Hershel to his knees later when he arrives at the prison, trying to convince Rick to hand over the prison. Rick tries to convince the governor that they are not too far gone and that they can come back from this and they can all live in the prison together. This makes Hershel smile, which is really cute. But the governor replies like this.
Liar.
Hershel falls to his death slowly, the governor later finishing him off fully by decapitating him completely. After the battle, Michonne finds his zombie head and puts it down. Hershel to this day is one of my favourite characters. Although stubborn in Season 2, he raised up as the moral compass for the group in Season 3 and 4. The hardness of trying to save his people but failing in Season 4 was heartbreaking to watch too. Hershel was an awesome character and had some amazing growth in the show. And his death remains one of the saddest in the series, and a character who just did not deserve that at all. I will always miss his presence in the show, but I feel like his death was necessary in that moment and was appropriate. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, subscribe, tell me your thoughts, whichever character you want to see next. Of course, just remember they have to be dead characters, and I'll see you next video. Thanks for watching again. Goodbye.